This particular presentation is intended to be focused towards Year 5 in the Australian climate, and it's Advent and Christmas traditions. Its subtitle is Preparing the Way. Its class allocation is Year 5. These are the core concepts that for you to bear in mind as a teacher. The real reason for Advent is to prepare for the coming of Jesus. Hearts are prepared to celebrate the birthday of Jesus. So Advent is a time to reflect on the promise of Jesus that he would come again as well. So Christmas comes each year, but the hour of Jesus' actual return is not known. Jesus himself said, "No one knows the hour of his return," that we should always be prepared. So Advent is an opportunity to think about all of that too. Now, materials you need to have around you for presenting this idea to the children are things like the Advent wreath, which we've covered in other times, an Advent calendar itself, the Nativity diorama, and also an Advent and Christmas project-based learning booklet for each child. And those are available for you to download and copy. Another thing that's quite handy to have are images related to Advent and Christmas. So the presentation goes a little bit like this. There is no need to light a candle because we're not reading from the Gospel today. So children or students, Advent is a time to get ready, to prepare our own way to Christmas. It's like a countdown to Christmas that can take so many different pathways. Let's think about some of those ways. This is where children will come up, hopefully, with suggestions, and you're going to encourage it. There's the Christmas tree and its meaning. There are lights and there are decorations and there are cards, etc., all the things that they'll come up with, and the other things that they will suggest, the Advent wreath, the Jesse tree, the O antiphons, the Advent calendar. There are many things that people do to get ready for Christmas. When we're getting ready for Christmas, we can sometimes get pretty distracted from the real reason, the real purpose of it all. The real purpose of all is that it is a time to prepare ourselves for the coming of Jesus. And we can see this in two ways. One is the preparation of our hearts to celebrate the birthday of Jesus. And there's another way of preparing too. Jesus promised that he would come again and that we should always be watching and be prepared for his return. And that's another thing we do in Advent as well. When we know Christmas is coming, we know that. We know Christmas is coming, but we don't know when Jesus will come again. Jesus said, "No one knows the hour of his return." So if we want to be prepared for Jesus' coming, we always must be busy doing the things that he told us to do. We must be loving God and loving one another. And what other things can we think of here? Allow time for the children to respond. Yes, over the next few sessions, we're going to explore some Advent and Christmas traditions that help us prepare for the birth of Jesus and his future coming as well. And there's a website that I want to share with you today, tell the children, that lists a lot of traditions around this time of the year. www.ychristmas.com/customs. So you will have that ready to show the students. It's one of those websites that you can turn to explore some of the traditions of Christmas, which is what we're going to have some time for this term. And then you introduce the student to their research booklets. There are different topics suggested there. So in the research booklet, the liturgical season of Advent and its place in the liturgical year, learning from St. John the Baptist, St. John, an echo of the prophet Isaiah, Isaiah 40:3-5, prepare a way of the Lord. John is a witness of Jesus and the preaching of John the Baptist. An Advent booklet for Year 5. Traditions of Advent and Christmas, and you can introduce them to the website. The Advent wreath and the Advent calendar, the Christmas tree, also reflecting the tree of life. St. Lucy's Day, a day of light and hospitality. St. Francis and the Christmas crib, and the Nativity plays and how they came about. Christmas carols with a message. Feasts of Christmas, of the Christmas season, Boxing Day, St. Stephen's Day, that is, or one of the subsequent feasts. And then leading right up to the Feast of the Epiphany. So there are all those feasts relating to the Christmas season, also called Candlemas. And another topic that can be researched is the man behind Santa Claus. So there's a number of possibilities there that you can introduce to the children. So the children's research booklet, mini research project it's called, looks a bit like this. It's got the purple surrounds because it is for the students to use. It can be downloaded and multiple copied as needed. And it's great for children to have their own booklet. It's a couple of pages there, a bit of colour, and if it can be done, that's great. Of course, it's also quite handy to have the same thing up on the, and that could be a replacement as well, it could be up electronically for them, because that way they can access the suggested research sites. So the mini research project, it's about this. There are many beautiful traditions relating to Christmas and Advent. So use the suggested websites to discover some of these. So this is where they will work individually or in pairs or small groups. I'm just going to give you a close-up here for using mainly the website listed here, which is whychristmas.com. Following on from that, there are a number of topics, and the idea is that the students will pick a topic that is of interest to them or to them and a couple of other people. The colours of Christmas, and there's the website connection to Colours of Christmas on that website. Candles and Christmas, the candy cane story, mince pies, Christmas cards, holly and the ivy, I'm up to number 6 here, the concept of presents, Christmas bells, poinsettias, the history of Christmas carols, the story behind Silent Night, why the date, December the 25th, Christmas bells, and the Jessie tree. So they are the range of topics I've suggested here that they can select from, and they simply have to make their selection and identify that to the teacher, and you've got 14 possibilities altogether, and that way they could work in pairs or individually, do a bit of research and bring the stories back to the classroom to share. So there's a nice range of interesting traditions that they'll be familiar with, some of them, and have not thought about what those actually mean and how they came about, and they will end the term with a much richer understanding of Christmas and its whole purpose.